What's going on, everybody? Jeremy with Detroit Tech. Razer just released the BlackShark V2 and V2X gaming headsets. This puts the headsets available from Razer at around, I don't know, 200 or so, and really just increases your options in the budget and what I'd call kind of mid-range price category. Today, we're looking at the more budget option, the BlackShark V2X. Like the Basilisk X mouse review we did a little while ago, the X indicates a more budget option, unlike literally every other, like everybody else. With Razer having them listed at $59.99 on their site, it looks like they could be a pretty good contender for your setup. We did purchase these with our own money, and our opinions are our own opinions. But if you think these might, be great for you and your setup, we'll put a link in the description below, right below the sub button, if you'd like to buy them and help support the channel. Okay, so kind of classic Razer packaging, stickers, cool. The X version of the headset has a green rubberized, like textured cable. It's about 4 feet long, give or take. I didn't actually measure it. It terminates at like a 4-pole, 1/8-inch plug. You get a separate cable with another 4 feet, again-ish, in length that terminates into the microphone and audio plug. I like this because it allows filthy console peasants to not have to deal with an 8-foot cable while connecting to their aim-assisted controller. Or it could just be for your laptop that has like that combination 4-pole jack too. Anyway, the baffling thing to me is the right angle termination. You may disagree with me, and that's fine. You may be wrong, but whatever. First, it looks weird when you add the extension to it because there's a weird like right angle and then it's straight, so it's like this weird kink in the run. I don't like that. Maybe it's to have less strain on the cable if you have it plugged into a controller and you're holding it like really close to your body. I don't really know. Just seems like it would still create undue strain on the cable because it's plugged in and then it'll go like up and then immediately start turning, and I don't know. Whatever, it's fine. The cable is not removable, which is, I'd say, pretty standard for this kind of budgety space. The mic arm is actually really nice and flexible. It gets the mic basically exactly where you need it. There is a nice mic mute button on the back of the left ear cup. The volume knob is on the outside of the left ear cup as well. It has a nice detent in the middle, which is very satisfying. I didn't notice any crackling or like scratchiness while adjusting the volume either. And that volume knob really just adds to the kind of aviator vibe they're going for here. The matte black plastic ear cups are basically unadorned except for the shiny black Razer logo, which I think looks really cool. The exposed cables from the ear cup to the headband, same as the input cable, nice and bright green. This is an aesthetic I really like, from like all the way from the Beyerdynamic DT series to the HyperX Cloud or the Logitech G Pro. Just cool. Now, I have seen some people hating on the adjustment yokes here. I really like them. They fit the aesthetic for one, and despite what some people say, I don't think they make it difficult at all to get the fit right. It may not be super repeatable instantaneously, but I think they're great. They can wiggle a little and not like extend at the exact same rate, but I think that totally works. They can only be so different because of the mechanism and what like wiggle room it does give. It's really just to fit your ear. Some people have the headband maybe further forward on the head, and when the ear cups are oval like this, you can kind of rotate it and creates contact with your ear. This way, it just gives you more leeway to really get that perfect fit. I love it. The ear pads are deep enough that I don't like make contact with the grill, which is great. They're not huge, so my ears do make a little bit of contact with the pad at times, like on the outside here, but the inside of the pads is sculpted a bit, so it's pretty rare when I'm really hitting my ears. The pads are nice and soft with a combination of kind of faux leather and some mesh, then on the contact points for your head. Really comfortable. The headband is soft, and these are light enough that they'll sit pretty comfortably for basically as long as you need, as long as you don't mind at least a little bit of squeeze on your head. It's not really bad because they're pretty light, but if you actually have a head larger than mine, first off, I'm sorry, but it also might be a very tight fit for you. That being said, even with glasses, these are actually really comfortable, no weird pressure points or anything like that. Nice. These are closed back headphones, so they do get a little bit warm for long gaming sessions, and holy cow, are they like closed back. I mean, I always feel my own voice is muffled a lot when wearing closed back headphones, but these are like actual protective ear coverings that they use on like aircraft carriers. That may be good or bad thing for you, depending on how many noisy people there are in your house, or if you need to be able to hear the baby crying in the other room. But for me, at least, it's a little bit distracting when I'm playing Modern Warfare with my friends and I'm like talking to people and I can, I feel like I can barely even hear myself, which is a better segue than the Linus is to the microphone. It's pretty decent. A little heavy on the mid-range, but it does cut out background noise pretty darn well, like, the air conditioner in my room. And while it doesn't like completely reject keyboards super well, it's still not like really intrusive, unless you're, that person that insists on using clicky blue switches to game. Shame on you. There's a special place for people like you. The windscreen provides some help from plosives, and I found it actually gives my voice a little bit more body. And when I take it off, sounds a little bit more, gives a little bit extra kind of sparkle in the high end. But overall, it's clear, it's intelligible, and I doubt anyone on the other end of Discord or Zoom, I guess, will really have any issue with it.
This is the headset with the wind protection on. The little brown dog jumped over the lazy fox. This is the headset microphone with the wind protection off. The little brown dog jumped over the lazy fox. And this is me typing on my keyboard while I'm talking.
Audio-wise, I feel like these are squarely aimed and tuned for, surprise, surprise, gaming. They have a pretty pronounced V-shaped EQ curve. The mids, thus the vocals, do get a little bit lost in the background at times. I will say they don't get quite as muddy as I was expecting when there's like a lot of low mid information. They do have a lot of high end, making it a little bit fatiguing at times for long periods. Cymbals can get pretty darn strident, and on other recordings that lean warm, like Pride and Joy by Stevie Ray Vaughan, these just kind of lose some of the emotion because the mids are so pushed back. Stereo separation is, it's fine. And while individual guitars and Foo Fighters can get a little bit lost, in general, instrument separation is acceptable, especially for $60. These aren't for, sitting, kicking back and listening to your Flex or some vinyl or something though. Gaming wise, they perform really well. The EQ curve makes explosions a little bit extra for me in games like Modern Warfare, and footsteps are pronounced and really give you a very good idea of where the other teams or team is. They do sound a little bit closer than the enemy team actually is. I think that's partly the headset and partly Modern Warfare's awesome audio engine. Because the headset does not have a USB DAC to connect to your computer, you don't get all the cool bells and whistles like EQ correction, compression, and whatever else Razer Synapse offers, and that's available on the regular BlackShark V2. But in the box, it does come with a little card with an activation code, so you can download and activate the 7.1 surround sound, which you literally shouldn't even bother to do. I'm not a fan of any virtual surround sound that I've listened to yet, and it's no different. First, you have to change your Windows output to the 7.1 software, which is, maybe it's just me, but that's annoying. And then you have to switch it on in the soft. So I had to create another audio device switching toggle on my Stream Deck so I could switch between it and my own speakers, which don't have garbage 7.1 fake surround. Second, it's just not good. It makes it sound louder, which only increases your perception that low end and high end are is getting better. And then it just adds a bunch of reverb. Some people would say only use this in game, but disable it for movies or music. I lean squarely on the side of I uninstalled it immediately after just 10 minutes because it's just bad. The reverb actually makes it harder for me to know how close the other team is, and it makes explosions and gunfire louder and with bigger tails on the reverb, so I don't get to hear the stuff that I might actually want to hear. It's bad and it should feel bad. Fake surround notwithstanding, this is a really strong headset. The visual aesthetic is obviously subjective, but I really like it a lot. The microphone does its job well, making you heard, and the audio performance in game is really good. While the music performance is, it's definitely not great, they'd still do in a pinch if it's all you had, and all that is only at $60. The only reason anyone should pass these up is if you're not even gonna think about it, is if you need software to control stuff and don't mind shelling out more for the regular ones, but maybe if you need wireless, these are definitely not for you. As far as portability, if you really need portability, they're not great. They don't fold flat, and the mic and cable aren't removable, so that could be an issue. I still think, the Sennheiser PC37X are probably the best do-it-all gaming headset out there. But if you rather spend I don't know, about half the amount, these will do very well. Thanks for watching, everybody. If this was helpful, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. If I made you sad with the console peasant comment, don't worry about it. We all need aim assist at some point in our lives. Let us know in the comments below if you're a console player or part of the PCMR, and we'll catch you in the next one.